esteem me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom and awaken your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoiced it, and as he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is there so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him I have offended. I pause for a reply. None, Brutus, none. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not accentuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced for which he suffered death. Here comes with his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth. With this I depart, that I slew my best lover for the good of Rome. I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither, you run gently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet you answered not. But when an angry waffer of your hand gave sign for me to leave you, so I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled and withal, hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus, dear my lord. Make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by.
Wise? So I do? Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick, and is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dark morning? What is Brutus sick, and will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contingent of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate, make us one, that you unfold to me yourself you have, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort for you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that are parting to you? Am I yourself?
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am not stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound. Here in the thigh, can I bear that with patience, and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engages I will construe to thee, all my character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lies with them, the good is often tear with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general's coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When did that poor have cried? Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disapprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to steer your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you. Then I will wrong such honorable men. But there is a parchment with the seal of Caesar I found in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear his testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Beg a hair of him from memory, and dying, mention it to their will, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue. Have patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men, and being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come to it? You will compel me, then to read his will, then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you that he made the will? Shall it descend? Will you give me lead? If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I read the first time ever Caesar put on it. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent, that day he overcame the Nerval. Look, in his place ran Cassius' daggers through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, marked how the blood of Caesar followed it, and rushing outdoors to be resolved, if Brutus so unkindly knocked, or no, for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel, judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitor's arm, quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle muffing up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen! And then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops, kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here, here's himself, marred as you see with traitors. Stay, countrymen. Good friends, sweet friends, let me not steer you up to such sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable, what private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain blunt man, that love my friend, and that they know full well they gave me public leave to speak of him. For I neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech to steer men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony, would you ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar's, that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny? Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man 75 drachmae. Antony, would you ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar's, that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny? Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak. Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man 75 drachmas. Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards. On the side Tiber he hath left them you, and to your heirs forever common pleasures, to walk abroad and recreate yourself. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another? Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Where is he? And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood give us anything. Be like they had some notice of the people, how I have moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky charge my fantasy. I have no fear to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Just drop it. Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
Aye, and wisely.
Aye, and truly, you are the best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I married or a bachelor? Then to answer every main directly and briefly, wisely and truly, wisely I say, I am a bachelor.
That's as much to say, there are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that. I fear, proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or as an enemy?
As a friend?
That matter is answered directly.
Briefly, I dwell by the Capitol.
Your name, sir, truly?
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Tear him to pieces, he's a conspirator.
I am Cinna the poet, I am Cinna the poet.
Tear him for his bad verses, tear him for his bad verses.
I am not Cinna the conspirator.
It is no matter. His name is Cinna. Pluck but his name out of his heart and turn him going.
And turn him going.
Tear him, come brands ho, fire brands to Brutus.
To Cassius, burn all, some to Decius's house, and some to Casca's, and some to Ligarius's. Away, go!